What's going on, guys, and welcome to day one of the playoff stage here for the StarLadder CIS RMR. My name is James Banks, and I'll be your host throughout the next couple of days. And joining alongside me on the desk throughout, we've got Duncan Foreign Shields, we've got Vendetta. I'm going to start with you, Duncan. It's been a while, but it wouldn't be a StarLadder event without you, would it, mate?
Indeed. Here's the thing. In the end, it turned out with all those complicated relationships, I just needed someone else who only cares about their own self-interest. Perfect. You know, I found the right relationship there. They like people who are got big names. I like money. Shows that we can help each other.
It works very well. Ben, man, you balancing the coach and talent life at the same time. How you doing? Oh, can't hear Ben.
Yeah,
we have a muted Vendetta, so we'll just keep on moving. He'll fix himself out, you know. It's online. Right. It's the start of it. He needs to wake up. We'll take a look at these overall standings of where we're at in terms of the RMR points, the all-important points to get everyone on through to the major. And we'll see who right now is on top in terms of team spirit. Not looking bad at all for them. Na'Vi and Gambit up there as well. Okay, this Akuma one, gonna have to touch on it, Duncan. They really shit the bed, didn't they?
Yes. Put it this way, like already people had like skepticism about obviously the last RMR's results from Akuma specifically, and the fact that they were basically non-existent in this tournament doesn't make it look good. So, I mean, luckily it doesn't look as though they're probably going to make it to the major anyway, but I'm not really sure what narrative they're building on at this point in time.
There is no narrative anymore for these guys. Ben, are you with us? Can we hear you? No, he's still not there.
All right, then. It's like Akuma, it never turned up when it mattered.
Definitely. Another team that didn't turn up, though, you got to look at Virtus Pro and start to consider what on earth's been going on with these guys, right? Because at one point we come to earlier in the year, they're looking like a fantastic solid team, like they're making their way back in. We talk about Yakinda. We saw James kind of have his own rise back into form. But this RMR, this is not acceptable for a team at this level.
Yes, I mean, when people look at the playoffs, obviously these top four teams here, and points actually are our playoff teams. The real surprise is obviously K23, because that team's not the big name that you expect to be there. The fourth name, another of the top 10 teams in the world, is Virtus Pro. Normally they are a very, very good team, especially, by the way, normally they do pretty well against CIS teams even. So I found this very shocking, because I thought they were kind of like a shoo-in to make that other playoff spot.
Yeah, completely agree. And okay, we have to always mention Gambit because of how dominant they are right now. They're on a crazy win streak as a team. But the one thing that I always see that's very interesting here about Gambit is that they don't drop down to these lesser teams, right? They play their A game. Okay, they might lose a map here or there, but as a team, as winning the series, they just compete and they deliver every time.
Yeah, I mean, one of the craziest things about that team for me is when you go and you look at their map win records, which are unbelievable across basically the entire map pool, they just don't lose to bad teams. It's ridiculous. No. You basically have to be like Na'Vi with simple Goy God mode, or you have to be like a Virtus Pro. You have to basically be the best teams in the world and have your A game, and then you might win maps off them. So, as you say, normally a tournament like this, you're supposed to actually get a little bit wild because, you know, you don't know what it's like to play Entropic or Force or some team that's not on the same level. But as you say, Gambit just keeps rolling no matter what.
Do you think that like part of that is to do with them kind of working in their like way up when they played a lot of these smaller tournaments alongside the tier 1 tournaments, because they don't seem to really struggle with it?
I'm not sure, because I will say something about their style of play also just translates fantastically against playing every level of competition. Like normally you would actually say the Astralis type of control style should actually mean you get a few upset losses when the team basically doesn't play like the traditional meta. Maybe people just do crazy rushes or they don't understand the positional plays you're making. But somehow it never matters to Gambit. They just roll through everyone no matter what.
No, they really do. Vendetta, are you there now? I can see you.
I mean, I should be here. Hopefully, it's coming through loud and clear.
Yeah, we got you now.
Yeah, no idea what happened there, really. But there you go. You know, it's technology. It's fickle. But
it is technology.
Back at it.
That is where we're at with it all. So obviously today, the games we're starting with, right? We've got Gambit taking on K23. A one which obviously Gambit's going to come in heavily favored. Then you got the rematch for Na'Vi versus Spirit, and that adds some extra spice to this all because obviously Na'Vi dropped down to them before then.
Yeah, no, they did in the last RMR. So this is going to be really exciting to see. Obviously, I think we're seeing a little bit more, I guess, woken up Na'Vi compared to what we've done in previous RMRs. Obviously, the only loss coming against Gambit. So I'm expecting Na'Vi to kind of showcase themselves as the better team in that series.
Yeah, completely agree, right? But for me, Na'Vi are the opposite to what we were talking about with Gambit, Duncan, in the sense that Na'Vi can just drop games which you go, okay, there's no way you should be losing this. And again, we start to look at the holes within this team.
Yeah, Na'Vi is like notorious, obviously, for being the team that, despite the fact they can technically win any tournament, they can lose to almost any team right now in the online era. And by the way, especially hype storyline for this tournament, doubly so when they're CIS teams. Like somehow, if your flag's like Ukraine, Russia, you just get like a plus 30% buff to beat Na'Vi, apparently. Yet then, bizarrely, we all know they're the one team you think have a chance against Gambit, so they are the ultimate like give and take team.
Yeah, I really look at that, Ven, as like a way of, maybe it's if it means more to them, you know, playing in the against the big teams, and they don't really care so much about these lesser teams, even though they desperately need these points.
Yeah, I suppose, you know, they play to the level of their opponent at times, but again, when it comes down to it, when they actually have their backs against the wall, they usually come through. So it rarely has a massive impact on their overall standings. Like, even if you go back to the previous RMRs last year, then they still would have made it through. They still would have been at the major. So, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's all good for Na'Vi. But obviously, you'd like for them to show consistently that they just can put away lesser teams, or as assumed lesser teams, at least even from their own region.
Now, let's start to get into our opening game, right? We touched on Gambit a little bit already, but they're going up against K23, who right now, right, they probably weren't a team that anyone expected even to make it towards the playoff stages, Duncan.
No, as I said, like Virtus Pro was basically supposed to just waltz into that spot, and we would have had 4 of the top 10 teams in the world as the playoffs of the CIS RMR, which, by the way, that just shows you how much the CIS regions come on in leaps and bounds. There was a time they probably had the 3rd best of the RMRs. Now they have inarguably, I'd say, the best of the RMRs if you're talking about elite level competition. So K23 certainly a surprise to be here. But if you look at the lineup, you will see names you remember. I mean, obviously K23 is a legendary name from Kazakhstani Counter-Strike, and 2 of the names in the team, they've already won majors, boys. It's Mo and Adren, who obviously were in Gambit with Hobbit. Like, we're talking 4 years ago now when they won, funnily enough, the other PGL major, PGL Krakow. So, listen, even though I will say they're not at the level they used to be, like, unfortunately, they haven't had the return that Hobbit has had, where he's winning all these MVPs is amazing. But the level of experience is incredible. And they will have played against players like the Gambit players. Obviously, a bunch of them were in Gambit. So, to me, if anything, it's maybe a game where we could have, like, you could freeze the form, forget about it. And I'm sure the K23 players won't be, like, massively intimidated by playing these players. They know them inside out.
Yeah, certainly wouldn't. Well, let's start to look at what maps we're going to get and break down this veto that'll be coming on through. Because, like you mentioned, Duncan, already, that we look at Gambit's map pool, and things are pretty damn good for these guys. They don't really struggle on anything. They can play into it all.
Yes, and the tough part here is, like, these are the obvious bans. Like, you're always going to get these. In terms of the picks, like, that's not a terrible pick if you're the guys from K23, because it's their best map by far. The problem is, like, there are no bad maps if you're playing against Gambit, basically. Like, they're just the monsters everywhere. So they actually had the choice themselves between probably Dust 2 Mirage. They've gone with Mirage again. Funnily enough, it's not supposed to be a tactical map, but that's the other part about Gambit. That's the secret as to why they're so good. They have 3 players that average, like, MVP level numbers. So even on maps like Mirage, they can tear you up.
Yeah, they really can. And then that's one thing we look at when it comes to Gambit. They can be this tactical heavy. They play into these defaults, and then they surprise you. They do their research and homework on these teams, but then they can also just overrun you with pure individual skill.
Yeah, and they have this, like, perfect blend of being structured and being unpredictable as well. You'll see Gambit a lot of times in mid-round situations where you're playing 3v3s and so on, where they'll just have players go off on their own, and that's perfectly fine because, as you mentioned, the individual skill that they possess allows them to have, you know, a guy like Exile on the opposite side of the map just kind of roam around and see if he can actually open up sites or open up space for the others at any given point. And it makes them pretty much impossible to play against in terms of, like, figuring out exactly what's going on with them.
Now, Duncan, I'm gonna take you back to when we were doing New York. I think it was 2018 or so. And do you remember when Blade was telling us all about Exile's gonna be like the next star, and then he kind of dropped off? They removed him from the main team. His resurgence has been incredible, right? Just to turn up and deliver to be one of the best in the world right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the crazy part about their team is like you already saw people like Shiro already had the numbers when they were the Gambit youngsters and they were just onliners, etc. But yeah, it's the development of Axel because he was the player that was in the Gambit at the end when, as you say, Blade was their coach, and that was like the new player they were trying to bring through with some of the other names that you obviously might remember from the other teams. So to me, that's like they've found money there. I don't know how they got this player who's already in the scene, and he just seems to have made a transformation in the last, I'd say, like 6 to 9 months. He's just become like 5 times better as a player, and then you brought Hobbit back from the dead. So the team now, it's actually unbelievable that in a tournament as stacked as this, they arguably have the best skilled lineup as well as the best team in the tournament.
Yeah, you certainly got to be scared of anything that Gambit will throw at you with it. But when we look over to the K23 side of Vendetta, is there some of the mix of experience with some of these younger players coming in there? We have a chance to say they might be able to get a map here.
I think it's a fair shout. Their Inferno has been really, really good as of late. They've taken maps off of, or they've won Inferno versus both Spirit and VP in the group stages. So is obviously a good sign. And I think we've seen pretty promising form from the guys who you might expect to drop a little bit off, the guys with less experience like Fame. And he's been doing well for himself. And I think also Norbert is always a wild card. He's that typical CIS player who can drop 35 on you any given day. Sure. And if that happens, then yeah, K23 definitely stands a chance to at least grab a map here versus Gambit.
Now, I know when it came to our predictions, we all went for Gambit, obviously, with this one. But I just see this as a way of Gambit just going to do their typical run over here. I don't really expect too much from K23, but I guess we got to give them their credit, Duncan, the fact that they got here in the first place.
Sure. I mean, as I said as well, to me, just when you also like, essentially, if you're someone like a Dren and Moore, you're not really scared of Gambit. You know they're better than you, but you actually don't have the factor of intimidation. So, yeah, I think there's certainly a possibility with Mirage and Just 2. We can have at least one map be fun.
Well, let's see if it is going to be some fun. But two guys who will certainly deliver the fun is Sadakist and Moses, who will taking you through the opening game here today between Gambit and K23.
Yes, thank you very much, James. We are going to get into this one. Gambit yesterday, we saw them have an excellent match in series against Na'Vi. It was a treat to get in the group stage because it meant both teams were already through. And it might be a sample of what we're going to get in the finals. But right now, first and foremost, Gambit needs to continue on with not getting upset by lower teams. As Duncan said, they seem to have a way of avoiding that problem. Other teams struggling with it. Certainly, Virtus Pro comes to mind in this event, Jason. So Bomb waiting inside of the apartments, wants to bust out and try and get inside. But like you say, with this many players here, Hobbit has so much information on Banana. In fact, he's going to start pushing down and flanking. So the chance of them even going back is less. Smoke in front of Library. Enters and Axile trying to work together. Enters to get the kill. Axile follows it up and Enters gets 3 in total from behind the box. Hobbit's got the flank done. Very clean and concise from Gambit. Shots from Fame. Hang on. How many times are we going to see a Deagle absolutely destroy rounds? Seemingly not enough. Hobbit and Axile have to pull it back to 3, but then Axile gets run down. We've been king of the multi-kill in the group stages, and as they touched on the desk, he's certainly been someone that's found form, but today, so far, hasn't found multis yet. He'll get dropped this time as they round over at quad. Bomb to be planted. Hobbit has to wait out at small pit or moto. Take your pick. And Nafany will go on the flank from quad with the MP9. So Deagle at the start at range, just destroying this round for the early pick of Shiro. Nafany's throwing it down a little bit. I thought Hobbit had that. Double dink either way, but the M4 wins for Million, and that means now Nafany has to get Mo. He knows one's low inside of the site. He would have heard that dink through the wall as well, but he's looking toward picking it super quickly. He's got the mobility, but no kid on the play, and is down already. Good response from K23.
And yeah, all time, or excuse me, yeah, 2-1 in the favor of K23. Nice, clean, and easy round. They've got plenty of rifles built up as well, and Gambit going to be on the back foot early. We'll see. The question, I think, is got to be how long can K23 actually hold on to this run and maintain this lead, and how much it's going to grow. Good kills from Nathany, and ooh, look how low Adren is. Molotov going to force him back to the bomb, and what a desperate situation. Good finds at the end for Gambit. That is well played from Nathany. He gets 2 kills, but give him that third just for the effort. A lot of money taken away from K23, and Gambit, unfortunately, not going to be able to reinvest into this round, but they do have 2 AK-47s. They can drop that 5.7 over. Inters has a deagle, so some dangerous elements to this round for K23 if they're not careful.
So the 2 AKs, a decent pickup, trying to turn back and make amends with the fact that they were eco'd. We've seen so many pistols not converted this week. Becoming all too common. Looks like they're going to go for a half-wall boost, or think better of it, no one being aggressive this time for Gambit out toward the banana position. There is 3 on the B side, so they've certainly wanted to secure this part of the map, and it'll be the first time we actually see a bit of aggression from K23 and Banana, because as I mentioned, they've been going toward A in every other round, and with decent success, you'd have to say. Hobbit with a 5.7 wants to play off his teammates, expect a smoke to go in his position, but Shiro has one of the AKs at Coffins. CT's going to buy themselves a bit of time, and immediately K23 is actually going to back off that just with the smoke in position, so 50 seconds to work with, still a good amount of time to play out the map, but a solo anchor now on the A site. They're actually still going to go K23. This is risky. Because you've got both AKs on the B side of the map now. And look how close Hobbit is. That smoke dissipating, though, is going to reveal Nathany's position. Hobbit pulls 1 back at least on a Dren. But Hobbit has to fall off oranges. 2 good Molotov came over, bounced off Skybox, and he has nowhere to hide with 2 HP. He thinks the smoke's the best place to be, and Shiro's going to find fame. So the AK's starting to find their own, but 1's down. Again, Nathany had that. It's on the ground on entry, and that's a huge problem. They can't get back to it. Hobbit tries to shuffle out, and he's heard by Nelian, who immediately gets 2 kills, follows up against Shiro at New Box, and bomb to be planted? No, they didn't count for Inters. He will be found and go down. 9 seconds, plant to come in, and Axile trying to rotate over and shut this down, but they actually go for behind Fountain. Luckily, he doesn't spot them, so they'll get the bomb plant in, and it should be K23 to win out this round.
I think Axile, yeah, that's tough. You're just kind of hoping and praying you can catch someone off guard at low HP. What a brawl. Gambit with that stack. K23 not wanting to fall all the way back because they'd already committed 5 players to Banana. They just clear the flank and go right back for the hit. But that could have gone either way. 2-round lead for K23 into the first gun round. Shiro's got his AWP in hand. Mo has his AWP as well. And here we go. No kits picked up for the Gambit side, so those retakes got to come quick. But good amount of utility.
So a Dren trying to find a position. Interestingly enough, this was one of the maps that was in the major final back in 2017, the last time PGL hosted a major. So interesting. That was an upset win in a lot of ways. They were an underdog Gambit, and they won in Krakow. This time, they arguably go into the major cycle as the favorites.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, but Adren and Mo, obviously, they were on that team. So this is interesting. We've got 3 of those guys back together. Hobbit, the other one, he's still staring in a position where he made his most famous play in the finals. That CT connector, water on B. But my, how the turntables, Jason, because, yeah, they are the favorites this time.
That's going to be pretty cool. Pretty cool to see how the rest of the year is going to play out as lands start to come back. Smoke, Molotov, flashbang towards the B bomb site, applying some pressure, but it's all a ruse. They are going to go back towards A. Axile inside the bomb site, Inters as well. A little bit of a crossfire setup. And I think they're starting to get the indication. They're starting to hear the utility come out. Molotov to delay things, but Axile and Inters and a 2-on-4. Hobbit is slowly showing up just now.
Need to go on the Hobbit, as you say, getting in position. Tag down to 22. The exchange. Axile in the corner this time. Good for only 1. He drops again. They're trading so well on the K23 side, and immediately immediately. Gambit goes back to saving. It's going to be a 4-1 scoreline. With 9 seconds left, the bomb will be planted, and the round should be secured on the back of it.
These hits are so slow. Like, all the utilities coming out from K23, but they're not actually moving up with it quite yet. They're waiting for the counter utility. They're patiently waiting for that Molotov in lane to go away. They're patiently waiting for the nade to come out. And coming in, and the hit's actually coming delayed after all of the counter utility is spent. 4-1. Very, very good trades. Double kill for Norbert.
Not going to actually face. Would have been a good upgrade to an AK from a FAMAS had he have gone for that, but there's a look in. K23. Got to be happy. There's a Dren.
Yeah, this is like...
I mean, everyone on Gambit played so well in that major. I know we're going way back, but it's important context in a lot of ways coming into the major again. You know, Mo was exceptional. Dren was awesome. Doja played really well also. There's one that's...
Remember, that was also like the breakout year of Hobbit when he was also like kind of became a big name. But yeah, it was a Dren who figured out a way to roll back the years, turned into a I don't even know vampire, and was able to just teleport himself back to his old powers of 1.6. That's even going way further back. Good pop flash, good swing, drive by from Hobbit, but the off is forced forward because of the flames, and they cannot escape after that initial success.
Of course, the fifth on that team, of course, was Zeus, who had been cut from Navi and left, went over to Gambit, made a point by winning a major, and then...
Look at Axal, Matt.
Navi took him back. You're right, Axal's in decent position, bottom side of middle right now. Bombs toward T-stairs, and Nealon's going to be running toward that. Axal's going to hear him because he doesn't think there's anyone down middle and hasn't slowed down at all. Does he consider checking it? AK versus AK. It's going to be Axal, bomb down. Exposed from the bottom of Banana, but he can still hold the position. That's going to give Nafny a bit of space, and it's going to be Mo that's desperately charging back toward 50 seconds. Fame will find Nafny, who wanted to secure the site. Shoulder peek by Axal reveals that the AK, or rather, excuse me, the AWP has gone down, but Inters catches out Fame on the AK going the other direction. But Adren is gone. It doesn't matter because Mo's picked up the bomb, and he'll be able to rotate it over toward A, and this is a race now for Inters. No kit in the play, no utility either, just the Deagle to work with. And he's going to go toward top middle to see if he can pick up a weapon, but there's none there because that was one of his teammates to get the kill. There actually should have been one, but either way, Mo's grabbed that AK on the way by. So it would only be the AWP. And he's not feeling it. So Inters in the 1 versus 1 to find Mo. Mo's keeping his head down inside of the site, not wanting to reveal anything, and the time is ticking faster and faster. This one's pretty much gone. If he can somehow hold Mo with the ball and get the AK, that's not going to happen as Mo gets the kill, and I think the round should reset just before detonation. It does.
All right, K23 still going with it. This is a very nice start for them. Again, it's a little bit of a sketchy round going up against the Deagles and the two weapons that were saved over. But they outlast him again. And money's pretty decent for the K23 side with this 5 rounds straight now. All off the back of those 2 Deags from Fame in the second round. Pretty disgusting run, and that's got to be frustrating. Gambit looking to get back into it. 3 players starting at the B bomb site for Banana control for the defense. Nafany's going to push down deep as well. And K23 is content to let them have it for the moment. They've just taken control of A halls.
It's one way to look at it. I mean, certainly they're going to try and take the other side of the map as they lost Banana, but this is a little more aggressive from Gambit than even what we saw yesterday against Navi. We're not seeing that same sort of response from the T's in terms of utility yet on Banana. The last couple of rounds, they have put pressure there, which is ultimately led to rotations back over toward the A site, but A still seems to be their primary destination. Zao flashed out. Spots 1, but doesn't want to pursue too far on that kill. Shiro inside of Banana, boosted up on the half wall. He'll find the first onto Mo, and a second flash in. He's able to get Fame, excuse me, as well as Adren. Does at least get 1 in response, but look at the HP from him. He was tagged in that, down to 3. Good find from Nealon, and Axal's having a trouble getting into this game, getting started, because yesterday he was very good early on. in every map he played. We saw it. Catches out the jump, the run boost off of Valkyrie, but now it's going to be that has to hold the position, and a defensive smoke will cost him his life because Nealon's able to get around the corner before his gun was drawn and ready to battle. That brings it back to a 2-on-2. Utility thrown toward Library. Hobbit can't make the FAMAS work at range. And once again, we find ourselves with Nappy. Low HP! He's got both. Bomb had to get across, and they tried to peek him together. They both go down as a result.
Not an awful double peek either. That's a good transition over from Nathany, and thank God Hobbit did the damage to make that first kill easy. This is some good shooting from Shiro to find that double kill. Good setup with the pop flash. You're right. Axile that round got caught sleeping, I think, a little bit. When you're falling back into that position, obviously got to be way more aware that someone can hold the angle from halls. And normally pro players are pretty well on top of that. Axile just getting caught there and making the defense tough. Good clutch, and now Gambit have to string it together. Only one player survives. They've bought everything they can. That's even with 2 SMGs, and they're down to no money. Same with K23. They finally run out of road to work with. So this is a huge round for Gambit to get back into this. If they can win this and get on top of the economy, then you close the gap in this scoreline.
A defensive smoke at the top of middle thrown immediately by Gambit. This time, minute and 23 still in the round as well. So very early utility used by the CVs. Worth noting as well, they only have 2 other smokes left, so significant. A couple of incendiaries, though. They do have 3 of those, make it now 2, as Exile will put his out toward the A apartments. Shiro, good timing to catch out on Mo. Good flash as well from Inters as that came in perfectly to give Mo a chance in the fight. Shiro sprays back in. No tracers from the silencer. They knew he was in the door. No one to fire back. Instead, it's wrapping around for the squad. M4 does able to knock down Fame and drop the bomb in the process. But watch the crossfire as well, because not only is Inters there, you got Exile up on top of the box in corner. He's still waiting for a chance, and they boost up on triple, interestingly enough, but that puts him above the smoke, and Exile still alive in this one. Now we'll double up and get his first multi-kill as Nilling goes down, and Gambit finds their third.
That's a really nice hard bait from Exile. And Inters inside the site. When the smoke goes down in the front, Exile just knows he's safe. He can just chill. All he has to do is watch for them to be able to wrap around the bomb site, even had a teammate there to help. And he just patiently waits for his moment to pounce. Double kill at the end. And K23, I feel like the one of the bigger strengths of that hit was going to be their ability to wrap around. And I believe it was Shiro who just came back at the right moment to put a stop to that. So 3-5 and K23. No armor, few upgraded pistols, but they're going to have to sit around out without any great weapons and B-rush.
Oh yeah, big time. Hobbit nearly caught out right as well as he transitions to Coffins, but that's because he was boosting Nathany, and Nathany boosts the scoreline considerably for Gambit in this round. Shiro collects 2 on the MP9 as well, so good money for the primary AWP player, and he'll grab the AK from his deceased teammate. That worked out. Hobbit nearly got caught, but it was for good reason.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. They go for that boost, and around that, it's an unarmored B-rush. They could have had some nades prepared any other round, and they're doing 3 players at B, or they're pushing out towards car, and those nades and Molotovs can chew up that rush, but still handled pretty easily. No big problems. 5-4, still a 1-round lead for K23. Fame's back on the Galil, so still a few money issues.
Yeah, and this is
a Hall swoosh.
Well, a chance for Gambit as well. You say the money issues. If they can win this round right now, they'll break them again. Lost round bonus would be built up to 4 of those, so they're pending a bomb plant. They're in a position where they could do something with it still.
Ooh, that's unfortunate. I really like that play out of Gambit. Remember, this is what we saw them do against Na'Vi yesterday. Some aggressive early round openings on the CT side that were giving them so many 5-on-4 advantages. This one comes back to bite them. Exile goes down early, and they got to play with the deficit and very little information as well. So a lot of relying on the initial contact of your defense, and Adren's going to try and sneak in.
Hobbit knew he was there, didn't elect to throw out the incendiary, didn't think he could walk through the smoke, and apparently neither did Nathany, and now Hobbit realizes they've got a problem and tries to desperately spray through the smoke, but no one on the receiving bullets. Inters does manage to take down Nealon, but Shiro was actually, that was actually a trade as Inters wrapped around, so Shiro fell just before that, and I have to say, Nealon's looked very good on these entries, winning a lot of crucial duels for his team. He sits at the top right now. In fact, yeah, has he ever? 12 kills for him. The next closest, 6 in Fame. 10 for the side of Gambit. That's an Inters, but yeah, very good start for Nealon.
Good opening as well on the B bomb side from Adren. He's just crouching in. That smoke towards CT spawn, that could have been for an execute. It could have been just random pressure to try and force out some counter nades, and Gambit wasn't really prepared for Adren just sneaking in like that. Single kill, and all of a sudden, once you get the kill that fast and that quietly, and you haven't cheated anyone over already in a 4-on-5, you have no business being in the round. So a quick save call from Inters and Hobbit. And K23 continuing to look good. 2-round lead, and we're going to get a timeout from Gambit.
We didn't see too many timeouts yesterday from Gambit, even up against Na'Vi, so this is interesting. This is definitely them struggling. No, well, you could argue on Mirage they maybe did, but you're right. Otherwise, no.
Yeah, this is going to be tough to see what they come up with. I hope this single round doesn't really scare them away from some of those aggressive openings that we just saw, that round previously where Axel just got picked off. I'd still like to see him go back to it. They've got Shiro as well with the AWP, who loves those kind of aggressive peaks too. He can be plenty effective with the AWP. And Gambit trying to get back into it after the timeout.
A 3-2 off spawn this time, favoring A. A little more standard, a little more default. Shiro's AWP is actually all the way over and around. No run boost. Nothing fancy to peek middle. It goes to Boiler the safe way. Bomb's actually not even going to be dropped and left. They're not wanting to play picks at this. They actually want to try and go toward top middle. Inters is backed off and gone arch. They're going to... Okay, boost above smoke to try and see quad. This is smart. Shiro backs off.
Well, they're about a second later, else they would have had a kill. That smoke was cover for Shiro to fall back from that boiler play. If they had been there just a little bit earlier, and look how close they are on halls as well. This could actually end so quickly, depending on how these kills play out when these smokes subside, or who sticks around. If Nealon's able to get one cheeky kill, it could be over. Ooh, yep, Inters has spotted it. Nade out, utility out.
That is what they needed, because they were in a position with no information, and Shiro was maybe compromised. You saw the naded apartments. That means they had absolutely no idea, and still don't. That Nealon's sitting and waiting to bust out into the site. Axile's going to have to be perfect now, as he has to cover both quad and that position in pit. Instead, though, this is shaping up to look like it could be an arch rush, and the potential's there to split B if Adren can find a kill. And then that would put Nealon in a perfect position on the lurk. Hobbit's now suddenly becoming more and more aware of that as the smoke at Library very deep. That's going to be a gap. Hero can't hit the quick scope on the first one. He does on the second, and that's the bomb carrier, and that's the call for Axile to walk out. He got Nealon. That was the man we talked about that wanted to lurk in late, and then he doubles up as he always does. And it's Adren that gets nailed in the head by Shiro's AWP. Next, Mo will hunt him down, but he's really at this point just looking to do economic damage as Hobbit will come around and recover the AWP.
Yeah, really, really nice job from Gambit. Helped out, as you said, the gap in the smoke that gives Shiro the line of sight. Might have missed one, but he's not going to miss two that way. And Axile gets back to his double-killing ways. 5-6 as K23 can't pull off the slow, restrictive hit onto the A bomb site around Rap side. That's a couple of times they've gone there. At least this time they made it all the way to small pit, just couldn't get past it. Previously, they were shut down at the cubby corner. 4 AKs for the attacking side.
Hobbit. Syncopation as a decoy nade, but firing his M4 for real that time down toward the bottom side of Banana. Again, they'll work up slowly, K23, a little bit later, about minute 20 left in the round, so delaying their Banana takes, and that means utility already used up on B, partially by Gambit. We've got to be careful. Hobbit does have one more smoke, but he's the only one over there. Nathany, oh, he came so close. He actually spotted Norbert, who got the kill in return. But it's...
There's that deagle again, Matt. They've been dangerous. Opening kill. Shiro, this is a lot of transition for this defense. They got to be careful. Almost doubled up, but Hobbit moves over. Here comes the Molotovs. Here's the step piece. Oh, Shiro really needed Hobbit, or did he? 2 kills. Nealon trades him off. And this is a tough retake. Gambit's still on the other side of the map.
Yeah, I don't even know what the call is on this. I don't think they're going to bother. Exile looking potentially for exits at this point and smoke down CT. He's going to back away from it. Another good strategy, another good play. I mean, Hobbit isolated this time on his own, and you're right, Shiro needed his help. Couldn't get it. Did manage one. I'll give him credit in that situation, but all he gets in the end in terms of the impact on entry.
It seemed, I don't want to say panicked, but it didn't seem as like as clean as we normally see Gambit as they shifted to new positions. I think, you know, Shiro comes in and came over to the same pillar Hobbit was at, so Hobbit had to improvise and move out over to new boxes. It seemed a little clunky as they changed positions. Regardless, 2-round lead for K23. They've maintained this 2-round lead, I mean, pretty well. It's been back and forth these past 4 rounds. Each team alternating wins.
Shiro, there it was, doing what he could on the pillar. And this time he wants to be a little more aggressive, it seems. Not going to take the safe rotation. He's going to go straight for the mid pick. His timing's decent, but elects not to go. Obviously, CT side can always be taken down by a T-side about jump check from Hobbit. He's got to be so careful. He's going to wrap around. They know he's there, but he in turn hears Fame coming. Now he's got to be very careful because the nadeable position at Sandbags, so the incendiaries to buy him space. Fame's come through it on the back of the flash, and Nafany hears that instead. Excuse me, it was Nafany the whole time. Backside supporting him, and Nafany's going to find Adren as well. So finally, a good banana take from the CTs. They don't exactly have control of it yet, but they've done a very good job of getting the opening kills. Shiro even came around to support. They'll back away, leaving Nafany at Sandbags, though. And that will cost them the position. Look at Nealon as well.
That's fine though. I think they're more than happy about what Nafany just provided them. Look at all the utility that K23 had to spend, all the lives, all the time that they had to spend trying to take control of Banana. It's an important kill for K23 to get, but it cost them so much. And now back towards the A bomb site where Inters and Axal haven't had to use any utility quite yet. Although Nealon has sneaked up close. This could be huge because Axal won't expect such a quick turn. And Nealon could even make a play on top of the hay card if he wanted.
Yes, he can. Axal down. They swing and check the corner immediately. AWP of Mo up close. Drops Inters down, and the bomb will be planted as a result. And that kill keeps the round alive. In a 1-on-2 post plant. And Mo's going to go aggressive with it as well. Bomb down inside side. He wants to wrap, knowing that they're going to be coming from B. This could be it. This could be the kill. Shadow showing. You can see the head slipping away, but he thinks he's further along the wall, and Shiro somehow gets away with the kill.
Yeah, Shiro slowly just baiting him into that peak. That was perfect. Really well done here. That shadow really was just the perfect thing to pull him out into the open. Nicely done from Gambit. 6-7 off the back of that fantastic initial banana hold from Nafany. It's nice to see them actually getting engagement there for when they've done the kind of triple play and the push out towards those sandbags. We haven't seen it too much in this half, but this time Nafany denying them all the space that they wanted, even with the follow-up peak. 2 rounds left in the half, and with that plant even, K23 still don't have the money to invest anything crazy into this round. So back to Deagles, a Tech 9, 1 AK-47 on Fame.
So 4 and B, make that 5 as pulling up the rear. Nealon will join his team this time. Not going to try and look for the lurk on A. Shiro already gets one. Confirms the run. Pistols. Nice shot on Mo. Good flick. Fame will get Hobbit down, though. And that makes things a little less comfortable. But Nafany is still boosted up on new box, ready for this take. If I did a flick like that, Jason, right now I'd be back in rehab. Nafany's going to take out Fame, and the boost works again for them. Shiro's rotated over as well to get a better line of sight with the AWP, and it works out. So Gambit tie things up at 7 as we reach the final round of the half. This will determine who has the slight advantage, but it is Inferno, and I don't think any lead is safe ever, really.
That hit was always going to be a struggle. Hobbit and Hobbit playing so passive. Same with Nathany. So they just had all their utility. If that was any kind of a set piece from K23, there would have been so many Molotovs in the choke point and nades, especially as Shiro rotates over. If not, they just get to chill and kind of wait. Two-man banana take. Shiro's behind them in support. This time Nathany again wants to push deep down. Deep smoke, deep Molotov, and deep nades are going to clear things out. That means K23 wants to see what they've got on the other side of the mid-smoke, and it's Inters. Adren gets put down. Trying to make a cheeky play, and now a man advantage to Gambit. Add another one on top of it. Exile gives them an even bigger advantage in this final round of the first half.
Hobbit holding a cubby will try and make a play on this. There is no utility aside from a smoke, so he can be covered but can't be killed with things being thrown his direction, unless it's bullets, apparently, because Fame's got the headshot trading back the first kill that Hobbit did find, so still a two-man advantage for Gambit with a minute to play. Exile still inside of the pit as well. They know that Inters has been on that box so often, but this time with his teammates still alive in pit, it's a good position to be. Because it's an established crossfire that has been tried and tested over the years. I don't think he quite spotted the gun barrel of Fame walking out from the back of the hay bales, though. And that means they didn't even anticipate. He doesn't trade back, but now he knows inside of the broken wall, but doesn't elect to shoot. Just tries to bait Mo into it, and Mo gets the better of the duel. Inters was actually watching the wrap from Library, but now he's been able to slip into position in the meantime, and a little bit late to save Inters, was in the corner, but wins the round for Gambit. They win the half just by 1.
Yeah, that's a really nice push down banana to the flank from Nathany. Never, ever expected. That's, I mean, all things considered, a good half from Gambit considering the way things started. Remember, that was 5-1 at one point in the favor of K23. Gambit ends things on a 7-2 run to bring it back and give themselves a lead going into the second half. So pissed around, see if they can win it and actually convert it. And we've got a terrorist timeout called, Matt.
Yeah, I'm assuming this is tech because we've... Yeah, it's tactical. Okay. Well,
it says tactical. Yeah.
It does on the graphic. Sometimes that goes up quickly just because that's the timeout setting that they have. In other words, it's all on a hotkey for the producers, but I don't see anything in chat to suggest otherwise. So yeah, this could be a tactical to discuss a pistol round. That's how important this seems to be to Gambit.
I'm wondering, oddly enough, if they're just so used to tournaments having a break at halftime. They were like expecting to have 3 minutes to have a quick chat. They're like, crap. No,
okay, so, well, hang on. Yeah, no, so now K23 is also called pause on top of it. So I don't think this is entirely...
I think this one's tech. The first one was tactical.
All right, well, we'll go with it. We'll stick to that. Either way.
I'm just going to throw information out there before I get any confirmation.
Exactly. That's, yes. I mean, you had the prime leader and example of that in your country for the last 4 years, so.
Oh, dear.
I shouldn't bring in
Let's
politics.
not go. Let's not go that route.
That one was too easy.
That was low-hanging fruit.
Yes, good. It was.
All right. Unpause comes in. We are going to get the second half underway. 1 round lead for Gambit on this T-pistol run. They're going to bring a smoke and a flashbang into it on Nathany. Glock armor all around it. And for K23, they're looking to brawl. 5 USP armor. No utility, no kits for the defensive side.
Nathany waiting from the underpass position. Does try and get a headshot toward Mo at the top of middle, but Adren is also there. And Mo might go one-on-one with his old teammate in the form of Hobbit, as he wants to work into the apartment position. And they've got a crossfire as well. Fame's back at the end of the halls.
Yeah, but if they hard clear this, I don't think they can actually spot Mo if they hard clear it. Ooh, and he gets baited into a peek.
Oh, no. He thought he could be disciplined, and then he hesitated, and Hobbit get by. It was the second man up the stairs that killed him. Hobbit's got Fame. That crossfire completely falls apart. You're right. It was a hard clear, and Nathany's done just as well at Library as he reads Nealon and takes him down with the headshot. It's Norbert versus the world.
That's not what you want to see. Ooh, I wanted to see how that whole setup actually did, but he got a little bit greedy. He saw the opportunity and swung out just a little too wide, and that even made it harder for his teammate to help him. It made it easier for Gambit to just eliminate him from his position. Right here, that sidestep to the left. Exile was so ready. Yeah, he knew
Mo
it.
knows it. Oh, that sucks.
Is that a bowl of nuts in front of him that he's snacking on?
I didn't see it, but that'd be smart.
Some pistachios?
Yeah. Be, healthy snack. Fill you up without bloating you too much. So Mo with the scout, trying to do what he can in middle. Reaction shot down toward Exile, but he manages to get by and no damage dealt. They know now there's definitely a scout in the hands of Mo as well, so they'll be prepared for that. 2-2 split with bomb just kind of hanging out bottom end. Okay, it's going to go banana as well, but this is interestingly going to be a bit of a slower lurk play to try and get more information as to where the CTs are. Lots of utility already used on the B side of the map. 3 smokes still in play as well. You got Nealon, Norbert, and a Dren that have those. And that's 2 of the 3, therefore, on the B side of the map. And that's such a good choke point to use them in, as we know. Exile flashed off. They're going to go back over toward A.
Yeah, the question becomes, where does a Dren use his? I mean, with his position, you'd think it'd either be small pit right in front of him. And once he sees that smoke come in, actually puts it down there. Give the image as if there's going to be someone at Pope and readjust his spot. Got a teammate up on the balcony as well. Oh, and Gambit seems to be a little hesitant to come in. They know there's going to be some stiff resistance. Here's the peek from Fame. His Deagle got him the second round in the first half, but Halls wasn't clear. Hobbit was ready and waiting the whole time, and now it gets tough. These Deagles, though, still holding Gambit at bay.
Absolutely, they were. Good shooting gallery down to the quad. HP low for Mo, but not gone. Sits on 6. 3 for Nealon's enough for Exile to find the kill onto him very quickly. But Hobbit holds in pit, bomb to be planted, and Norbert's going to try and rotate around. It's planted safely inside of the site. So it's not like he had a chance to swing and kill. And the guns are picked up by Norbert, at least 1 AK to go along with Mo's scout. No damage done to either player, so Mo needs headshots, and he's going to get one in return instead from Hobbit. It's not going to win out the round enough, though I thought Norbert might have had the sidestep to beat Exile, who holds the round together. His 3rd kill, and Gambit find round 10.
Ooh. Yeah, these second rounds, I mean, from both teams, or even just the low econ rounds, have been so dangerous. K23 got away with a few narrow victories in the first half as well. This is crazy. Long-range Deagles, close-range Deagles. Nealon hits a couple stunners there. 10-7. And K23 going to come right back into it with the full investment. They can taste the reset. They can taste economic control. Ooh, mid-push as well. Norbert, all those nades give away the game. They know what's coming. Good SMG. Good Deagle from Banana. And all of a sudden, Norbert's tearing him apart. 2
Holy
on 4.
Hell. Wow, I love the commitment. I love the nades. Even the deep smoke Hobbit can't do anything. That's so sick. Gambit's got to just be sitting there like really, guys? K23 come into play. I mean, this is 2 former teammates of Hobbit, 2 former Gambit members. Zakstan obviously has a bit of a grudge match in this against Hobbit, so this is nice. This is pretty solid from them.
And to have that full 3rd round investment after you fully invested in 2nd round and lost it, I think that's probably what caught Gambit off the most. The deep nades completely caught someone from Gambit off guard. So did the pinch from middle and Banana. He didn't know which way to look. Head ringing. Shiro and Hobbit are completely split. Hobbit's going to try and pull defenders to the B bomb site. Doesn't have a lot of utility to do it. He's hoping for a kill, because they want Shiro with low HP to have a free avenue into the A bomb site, but that's such a tough ask out of Hobbit. 35 seconds, and we're kind of getting to that point where it's got to happen soon, and oh no, Matt, K23 is biting on this so hard. They bought completely.
Yeah, they have. It's still going to give them a chance to rotate back over because they should be able to collect Hobbit's AK based on their position, based on the fact that they've got this round. Hobbit's trying to run as well. Noise. He goes down, doesn't even get a kill, but Shiro's got to go. 14, needs the bomb plant, and he puts it in, but look who's close. Low of HP. MP9, easy kill, easy round from K23 in the end, but at least Gambit salvage a moment out of this, Jason, you have to say.
Yeah, that's at least a nice little silver lining considering the way it began. And man, they had a real window of opportunity. That play could have been made way, way earlier, but obviously there's no way Gambit could have known that. K23 fully committed to the B bomb site, all 4 players. Nice turnaround from K23, 10-8, as they're within striking distance still. And this puts the money for Gambit in a weird place. Shiro enough for an AK and armor. Everyone else sitting, you know, right around 2,500 or less.
Well, that's a heck of a response. Got to give them full credit for it because take economic control of this half and bring this back to 10-10 very quickly. Fame jumps across middle, spots one in alt mid as well, tries to throw a bounce nade to land that close. Still no amount of damage onto Hobbit, you could say. He goes down to 84. But he's not done there as he wants to get inside of the halls as well. Pressure, he'll back away. Nafany gone. Shiro's AK removed as well now as Fame gets that kill. So this should be pretty straightforward. We've got 2 left versus 5, and let's see, K23 have at least found their 9th round.
Yeah, and this might be a twofer. They might just find the equalizer. I don't think Gambit's going to be able to really buy a whole lot in the next round either. They're going to get 1,900, so yeah. Question is how much they'll want to invest. 2 on 5. Ooh, good kill from Exile. They could open this up. It's all down to this Hobbit engagement on the rep side. And they're trying to juggle the aggression. Trying to make sure that K23 can't get 2 players together. Another kill from Exile. Hobbit gave him the information, and now they need to just take care of Adren. There's the smokes down. Hobbit picked off from the side. Adren is playing this so well. All that experience. It's so smart. And Exile now trapped in the site. He needs a kill from one of these sides. Or to at least get this bomb plant. And there it is. He's got another, but down to 2 HP.
Oh, good read, though. Knows he can't plant because he hasn't cleared quad. Now, the problem is he has looked, but didn't spot. And they won't pounce on the opportunity to get him while he's planting on 2 HP, but he wants an ace to win this out. And he's going to hold for Library. Little does he know they've gone high above inside of the apartments, and Mo's looking for the elevated kill on the Deagle. As soon as he stands up, 2 to shoot from the same angle, and they'll clear it together. He can't find the taps, goes to the Tech-9, knows he's low, but Mo with the AWP will find the kill instead. You got to give the guy credit for trying.
Yeah, that would have been really cool if he was able to hit that AK headshot onto Mo. Tech-9 for Norbert at the headshot box. That could have gotten real weird. That could have been miraculous. Either way, good damage to the economy by Exile. He found the silver lining. The extra $800 is going to help out. That'll help them, you know, just buy Deagles to keep the money for the CT side loaded so they can fight back and actually try and take some weapons away. Tech-9s, P250s coming out for Gambit. And K23 looking to tie things up right here.
Three bullets as well in that AK, but after putting the bomb down, right away, Nealon takes down the almost hero of the last round. The Exile's found immediately by him. Good nade as well by Nealon. Man, this guy's continuing to look so impressive today. He's jumping off the page, and he's jumping off the scoreboard as well. 1 kills for him. Fame still sits second right now for K23 with 12. Interestingly enough, it's Mo and Adren, the 2 former Gambit players that are at the low side of that scoreboard for their team. But yeah, this is Nealon really taking this game by the reins.
I think this is the first time we've had a chance to cast K23 at this in this event so far. So really cool to see Nealon delivering like this.
Got the boost as well towards CT, and it is the man we just mentioned that's up there as Norbert tries to bait them in. Norbert's lineup is able to take down Shiro from the fountain headshot. Following up with those inters. 10-10. There's that double you talked about, Jason.
These teams haven't even played this year, Matt. They haven't played since 2020. Gambit won all those series, every single one. Going back to when K23 was actually Simon Gaming. I think the only map they lost was Mirage 1614 at a qualifier for IEM Beijing.
Ages ago now.
Yeah. All right. Passive opening from Gambit at Banana. Exile throwing out a Molotov to keep them as far back as possible. Hobbit is burning alive. He got caught, and Adren gets a freebie. That's Adren's 7th kill on the day.
Nade lands at Nealon's feet. Puts him down to 48. Nafany, meanwhile, will wait it out inside of the apartments. Bomb's going to head over that direction as well. Now that they've lost one man, they'll try and group up and take a collective lead. This is a good crossfire. Fame can step out. Nafany might get one. Okay, he's not so confident now because that was such a clean kill onto a Dren. Mo still holding with an AWP as well.
I don't think the idea for Gambit has changed a whole lot when they back away from halls, but they certainly just kind of fall away, and Inter's eyes immediately went to the flank, went to the base of Banana. So they're just checking and making sure nothing crazy is happening, and they're going to come right back into this. Nafany and Axal meeting up with Shiro in the halls. Bomb is going to go third with the op to cover.
Checks. Axal tries to jump by. Nafany can jump down and catch out Mo, though, but phenomenal work, you have to say. Good no scope from Shiro to at least get that kill back, because now it sits at 2-on-2. And Shiro low as well. 9 will go for the bomb plant. Smoke down. Inters gets nothing. No read toward Library at all. And Norbert's going to go the long way around as a result of that. And Inters will hold in the pit. Good find. Takes down Norbert immediately. Now they've got a real chance at this, but who's up against them other than Nealon, who's been so impressive, and he's going to need 2 great kills here to take the lead for K23. Knows there's one inside of the pit based on the last kill coming in. Move him out, and that gets Hero as he baits the first shot, sees the head, but can't land it with the M4. Tap and hold. No, he's just going to tap it and make sure that he gets the peek back out. And Inters just barely holds his nerve. 15 HP, and there would have been time on that defuse as well.
Nealon almost had something spectacular. That flashbang completely wrecked Inters. He even realized he was that exposed. He got away with one there. Takes a dink, I think, to the corner of the wall. Almost a brilliant 1 versus 2. 11-10. In the favor of Gambit. Mo's got the AWP out on the board. I mean, you want to keep track. We talked about kind of the old teammates of the major winning teams going head-to-head with Hobbit. None of the major winners on the K23 side are having that great of a game. Madrid at 7 kills, Mo at 8, so they've been quiet.
Well, Hobbit's on the bottom of the other side, too.
Yeah.
Nade goes past Axal, still hits him and tags him up for 22 HP. Mo with the boost on half wall is already looking deep toward the stairs as well, but he's a little bit concerned someone may have actually snuck in and gotten to his left. That's what Axal's going to do right now. So X-ray off. Oh, yeah, we see it. Easy spot. The second one jumps as well. Tries to hit the third one, and that actually gives his position up because he potentially thought he was spotted in doing so, but it's going to be Gambit that get the better of the exchange. Mo's down. Fame as well. Shiro's found a Dren. Nealon back in Library is taken out by Nafany. This round should be gone. Gambit should get number 12, and Axal makes damn sure of it. On a second op picked up, does he switch it out? I think he did, just in time for the M4, interestingly enough, on this T side.
Nafany just did some filthy things on Rap side. He did some real nasty things to K23 in that press up the Rap. That's good stuff. And that round was so clean from Gambit, and it felt so clinical and surgical and so well timed. I don't know. That's one of those hits that makes you feel real bad for K23 moving forward in the later stages of this map. It almost feels like Gambit was just like, all right, we're here. We're warmed up. Now we're all feeling like we're clicking together. They're going to get an easier round with K23 all on USPs. But that one makes me wonder if Gambit have just kind of hit a level that's going to allow them to finish off this map.
Axal will work in slowly with the AWP to peer over his shoulder. Shiro looking for an angle, but no one there. They're going to figure this out. So they commit to B, but it works out for them. They'll even start to clear it now with utility, just to be absolutely sure of it. Axal likely will rotate all the way through Chapel, just to make absolutely sure of it. And Bomb will go down. This round should be done. It'll be 13 now for Gambit.
$13 now for Gambit and 3 in a row. Been a pretty tough opening map for them. Starting to come back into it. Well, I'm trying to think of what I'd like to see out of K23 to see if they can get back into it. Obviously, I think the number one thing that could help them out massively is especially if Mo can start picking things up with an AWP. If you can get that in his hands, and he can find you a couple early kills, maybe down Banana. Oh, that's tough with all the utility these days. Maybe an off angle in middle somewhere to catch somebody sleeping. But finding a 5-on-4 could go a long way. And Mo is going to have that AWP. It's dropped over by Fame.
Highest utility damage in this server right now. That's 237, 214 for Norbert second. That's Molotov and HE's cool stat. There we go. There's Exile again on Neil, and Hobbit's gonna ash it off because he's got Fame. That makes it now a 2-man advantage, but that's cut in half immediately as there's 1 kill back by Norbert. I saw an interesting graph, I think it was a couple days ago on Reddit, showing the utility usage on each respective map, and HE is the lowest on all of them. Obviously, Decoy wasn't tracked because it's overpowered.
Because it's a decoy. Yeah.
It's super powerful. But yeah, no, HE's obviously the lowest, and that makes perfect sense, right? Defensive utilities, flashes on takes, smokes were the highest. But Inferno had quite a bit of incendiary / Molotov usage.
Yeah, it's
likely as Banana.
Yeah, it's pretty critical. And I mean, the whole banana takes on both sides, both as T and as CT, is just like it's like a weird little chess game that all the Banana players have to play. Anthony going to throw a little bit of utility towards B, going to keep Norbert here. See if he can find anything. The rest of his teammates are ready to just pop out halls at any moment. Although Nathany's going to keep walking. I don't think there's really time for them to come back. They started to when he didn't see anything. Also smoked off in halls. K23 seemed to have a good read. Mo's in trouble. Back behind the corner for the repeat. He finds one. That's the bomb on the deck. 15 seconds. Hobbit and Shiro need to make something happen right now. I don't know if they can. There goes a Dren. One more frag for him, and Mo gets the upshot.
Sick job by Mo to get out of trouble and then turn around and catch them off. Very good read, as you say, by K23. They were absolutely ready for that. And you mentioned Mo needing to be the one to step up in the AWP. Well, that certainly helps. Gets himself into double digits finally with 10 kills. And interestingly enough, I know the MVP stats were the ones that we don't really care about a competitive as much, but it does indicate on round wins who has the biggest contribution. And Mo has a high impact in the rounds that they're actually winning, so it does provide some context in this regard in terms of backing up what you're saying about his offense being solid.
Well, yeah, no one cares about those MVPs.
No, I know, but I'm just trying to give some context to say, as you say, like that AWP has to have more impact, and it has on the rounds that they've been winning. So that speaks to it.
It'd just be nice if he could find some opening kills for him. Although it's not something you could just go say, yeah, I'm gonna go get an opening kill this round. They did try and get aggressive in the previous round and ended up kind of losing out on their aggressive plays. That's a big time flank down Banana real early on from Neelan. Dren and Mo have doubled up on this rap side, and Mo's bored. He wants to go find something out. He's got to be careful, though. He's going to walk right into the crosshair. Shiro's holding this peak. If he goes too deep, Mo is going to get picked off. Now it's a Dren's turn. Nafany not ready for that. Good trade.
Not at all. Good trade. I mean, why would you expect there to be an AK after an AWP is trying to peek that, right? So it catches them off entirely by design, or otherwise. Norbert, by the way, alone at B is pushed out towards Sandbags. So this could be a interesting off angle. Interesting off angle that's going to yield 1 kill and no response on a hit. Shiro does get the AWP in position, and all of Gambit rotate over toward Banana, and now it is a 3-on-2 and a late rotation coming out from the B side of the map by Fame. Still not even sure that mid's wide open. It's a Dren that pretty much has to hold this on his own. Is he just going to walk through? Double smoke down. Back turned. Oh my goodness, man. No. He got so lucky not to be spotted, but nearly took 2 down. That was a massive opportunity. He's done a huge amount of damage, which could still come into play as Hobbit backs off and holds in front of the emo position, swings out. A Dren takes him down, but the information that he's rotated to the coffin side is now apparent. And the smokes have dissipated towards CT. He'll have some access, some point of entry. Adren's gonna do it all himself. Good flash from his teammate to get him defenseless with Inters and Shiro's smoke. They might have just pulled this retake off unless he can find the lineup on top of the coffin. He's just out of reach. He's just outside of where he normally would defuse from, and it's gonna be the round to K23.
That's a retake and a half, but I can't believe Adren didn't just continue that fight and get a double kill on the plant. Hobbit, they hadn't cleared the bomb site itself, so he was looking the other direction. That very easily could have been a win by time. Regardless, good job coming around, and some late utility from Faye makes it easy. 1 round away is K23. 2 in a row now for them, and another bye for Gambit with that plant. Mo, he's gonna peek down mid, just toss the nade real quick.
Axel realizes the flames won't reach his feet, so he's not going to give his position away with the use of the smoke. That might be beneficial. As he walks out and he gets the lineup, they both come into it. And perfectly again, Axel knows he now can rush toward B, and that's exactly where the bomb is going to go. If he had thrown that smoke to extinguish the flames, that whole play doesn't happen. A bit of patience pays off. And now Mo does at least hit the leg shot onto Nafany as he fires blindly inside of the site. He's even watching for a counter boost at Nubox to see if they'll rotate around. But what a response from Gambit. A little bit of luck, but also some wit from Axel to make that play happen.
Yeah, well, Mr. Multi-Kill over here just delivering still. And I mean, that's a win right out of the gates. K23, they'd be absolutely insane to go for this. It's time to back away. You have no money built up behind this round. If you lose these weapons, Gambit's going to start having the red carpet laid out. So Fame backs away. Mo just grabs an angle to prevent anyone from chasing, and Adren's already been holding the flank on the other side of the map, so we're all good. 14 to 12 in the favor of Gambit.
Adren spots the gun barrel, fires very, very early at Shiro, knowing that after he checked on the left, he'd likely swing wide right, so didn't want to waste time on it. At least gets it down to a 3-on-3 at the end of it, meaning that guns are not only saved, but one more is lost on Gambit's side, but another round one puts them 2 away from the finish. And we've quite a finish, I think, in store for us on this first map. Remember, that's Mirage comes up as map number 2, and then Dust 2 if needed. And at this rate, I honestly think it could be.
Yeah, very possible. We're not going to count it out. I'm very happy with what kind of competition we're getting out of K23 right here against Gambit. Round 27. Shiro aggressive with the op. Oh, almost flicks over. Gets damaged through the board. Exile completes the kill. Although Fame finds an equalizer again. Hobbit trying to pounce pretty quickly and hauls off a kill on the other side of the map. And again, he's stopped.
Bounce nade to the sandbags with no receiving end of it. Very passive stance this time. That early kill from Gambit has forced the defense quite thin. Inferno is one of those maps that it really makes things difficult for the CTs because you've got such a hard job at A to leave 2 people to it. One buried at B is a problem as well. Norbert at least gets Nafany down to a good trade. Norbert, P. Blindly trying to hit inside of the site. Axel, that is a ballsy play because he landed on the bullet that was intended for the planter. But he'll find the kill instead as Fame and Adren will try and rotate back in. Slowly but surely, they'll walk to their deaths as both go down in simultaneous fashion, and it's map point for Gambit.
What a disgusting round again from Exile. Just down the stretch. Remember, first the 2 entries in Banana the previous round. Now he gets a triple kill in this round, and he's looking to close this map. 3 chances for Gambit to get to 16, and K23 is going to be fighting with mostly scraps. Just really good stuff from Axel. You're right, that is a bold play, but I like it. I admire the jump. 1 M4 on the defense. And that's it. That's all they have to play with, surrounded by Deagles and a CZ.
Shiro, nade out with Mo. Boosted bottom stairs for the headshot angle. It's slightly smaller target to fire back at, and also lets them rotate 2 back out toward middle, but this is the only gun. That's why they're trying to find something clever and cheeky for it. Hobbit's going to be actually upside in Boiler already, and look at Adren as well. Hobbit's not going to have this easily done. It's a go. Oh, wow, they've read this. That's a good read. Man, oh man, look at the damage done, and Hobbit will collect as Mo runs away. There was a headshot in the meantime onto Norbert. that came out from the gun of Exile yet again, and Adren's going to try and do something with this Deagle, try and put a third person in the same position. That also means he picks up the M4, and that is enough to get Inters down, and the bomb, and catch off Hobbit. They're not ready for the double rotation as he swings both directions. Good read, brings Nealon back into the picture. Adren finds a third, but that's all he'll get in the rounds, and it's going to be Gambit taking map 1 in a close 16-12, and I say close despite that is a 4-round gap. That could have gone either way at some points with the economy in the second half, Jason.
Yeah, it really could have, and that's a cool showing out of K23. Very competitive with the best team in the world, but Gambit down the stretch. Obviously, Exile just picking up the pace at the end, making sure they closed it out. And that T side from Gambit, so good at trading, and when they needed it most, they came alive. That's awesome from Gambit. Either way, that's just the first map.
Yeah, absolutely. Mirage coming up next. Hobbit certainly not present. Exile came alive late this time. We saw him have huge starts early yesterday, and what a time to do it. That was absolutely perfect. With that said, Jason, we don't have to talk about the game today, or at least pretend like we know what we're talking about. I mean, you probably do, I don't. So let's send it to people who do. We've got a desk, and it's James Banks that will lead them through it.